God. Fucking finally. It was like forever. Because I had a time to just chill. So, I was going to take the month off, watch some TV, catch some...
I have an idea for your next video.
God damn it. Okay. I was going to take a break, but fine. What is it?
Exactly.
What?
The movie.
What movie?
It.
Which movie? It Follows? It Only Comes at Night?
Just It.
You're telling me there's a movie simply called It.
I bought us tickets.
Let me see that. I hate you so much sometimes. Alright, fine, let me get changed, then we'll check it out. Hey everyone, and welcome to spoiler warning section. Really quick, just doing this to kind of establish some of the story, and also give some people who want to go into the movie, totally fresh, without knowing the story, an opportunity to get out before it gets too plot specific. Because during the course of the review discussion, we're going to be talking about certain plot elements, characters, etc. So, the very basic story is, Stephen King's It is based off of the Stephen King novel known as It. And essentially, this movie is also a remake of a 1990 miniseries that appeared on ABC, during Sunday evenings. One big difference between this and the 1990, miniseries thing is that was a made-for-TV miniseries, pretty much for the whole family, whereas this was a hard R horror movie. So this is going to have a lot of blood, guts, gore, plus also 20 plus years later, the standards are a lot different. RPG is a lot different than 1990s PG, but whatever. Anyway, the basic story of it is it takes place in Derry, Maine. Every 27 years, right? Mysterious murders, weird circumstances happen where a lot of people are killed off for some reason. And the story for the 2017 It movie takes place in 1989. Basically, there have been a series of, child disappearances throughout the city. And, one child named Georgie is unfortunately taken and killed. And it spurs his older brother and his older brother Bill and his friends, who ultimately become known as the Losers Club, to look into this and try and figure out what's going on, because the police haven't figured out anything and they want to stop this because being a kid in Derry is obviously dangerous. And they investigate this and they come across something far beyond their imagining. That is the very basic story for the movie. So if you want to, cut out here so you're not spoiled on what goes on, totally fine. I get that.
Pause it. Go watch the movie. Come back. Unpause it. We will wait.
Right. I mean, not too long, but a little bit.
3 hours. It's like a 3 hour, 2.5 hour movie. We'll wait that long. After that, you're on your own. I'm not waiting that long anymore.
Right. Cool. So, goodbye to those of you who have to leave. Everyone else who's sticking around, first off.
Good for you.
Thanks. Also, because I like getting views, and retention time is nice.
Subscribe.
Right. Okay, so I've covered the basic story, and really quick, as I did mention before, this is kind of a remake of the 1990s miniseries. I want to establish here and now, I am not going to be doing a comparison between the two movies, because, TV miniseries versus our horror movie, They're
TV miniseries that's made forever and about a clown that eats small children and murders people versus a theatrical release of a movie about a clown who eats and kills people.
Yeah, they're two very different things. Like, some of the big things that are different, blood, gore, and the language. Like, Captain America, he would be so upset with this. So, Chris Evans, feel free to skip this one. It's fine. It's cool.
Steve Rogers, stay away.
Right. But, yeah, they're two different things. I'm not going to compare them. But I will bring up this point again in the end. So, now that we have the basic plot and setting established, let's talk about the characters. Alright, everyone, so now that we have the story established, let's talk about the characters. And first off, I'm going to focus on the titular character, It. Basically, in the 2017 version, he is played by Bill Skarsgård. And I want to say, first off, I think he did an excellent job with the character. He uses a kind, friendly tone of voice whenever he's interacting with the children generally, but you can definitely tell there's like some dark ulterior motive to, why he's talking to these kids, and also the fact that he's kind of a creepy clown in the sewer should be a giveaway of don't talk to him. But
well, the wind blew the circus away. It's not his fault he's in the sewer. He's got a good motive. Like, it's backed up. Like, the wind blew us away. Kid logic, maybe not the best source of But yeah, okay. Wind, got it. Clown, got it. I see it.
Sure, Pat. Don't go to dairy. That's my personal advice to you.
Okay.
But whatever.
Okay. Fair enough.
But, yeah, so I think, Skarsgård did an excellent job, because he does trick some younger kids, and he does use some appeal, and he has some very genuinely weird and creepy moments, in the movie, dealing with Georgie, luring him in, and
playing the great Grand Bucket Bozo Bonanza, where they throw the little ball in the cups. Like that?
No. Did you even watch the movie?
Which one?
It.
What movie?
You bought the tickets. You should know.
Okay.
Whatever.
It comes tonight.
No, It. Stephen King.
Oh,
horror guy.
The clown one. Yeah, I got it.
You are the worst. And, really quick, guys, this might be Pat's last collaboration, so if you loved him, if we get enough likes, I'll keep him on. How about that? Okay.
And
but
if
anyway.
not, I'll be taking the bus to Derry.
God. Please give us likes. I don't want to have to go get him. Anyway. So Bill Skarsgård definitely did an excellent job. And really quick, I want to talk about the 1990s version, because I love Tim Curry. He played the character definitely differently, obviously.
He had the balls and the buckets with the...
No. Bozo was the clown who had that.
Got it. Not.
I mean, he did have, the white face makeup and the red hair, and the nose, I think.
And he talked to children.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah. Told you. That was the prequel.
Right.
That's what set him over the edge, I bet.
God. Yeah, that ball cup game was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Tim Curry, in the 1990s movie, the miniseries, that was made for the whole family, about the killer clown that eats kids. Not bloody, though, or swearing, so I guess that's the big difference. He played it interestingly, and he had his moments. One moment in particular I just want to share with you guys, just because I loved it so much. Just quick setup. Whenever Richie goes to the library looking for Mike, and unfortunately he's not there, but Pennywise is.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely strange and interesting, and certainly not scary or creepy, but I don't know, I found Tim Curry enjoyable. Like,
Agreed.
like, you know, like we said, they're two different things, miniseries versus R-rated horror movie. You know, and one of the things I think you were saying earlier about Bill Skarsgård's performance was, you know, he sounds a bit more childish, like more approachable, whereas Tim Curry's was definitely like an adult, you know, trying to lure kids in.
Yeah.
And it worked for both characters. Like, you couldn't switch Skarsgård and Curry in the other movie. It would be a disaster.
Yeah.
So, for real, definitely awesome casting, you know, and how they portrayed the characters, they did good. So, we have the villain. Who are the heroes again?
The Losers Clubs, the little preteens, like the...
Wait.
know.
The preteen kids.
Well, yeah. Who else would you have to fight a clown?
I don't know.
Another clown, I guess.
No. Certainly somebody better equipped, like, I don't know, the police?
Okay.
Maybe the army?
Rambo.
That'd be cool.
Terminator.
Dude, crossover.
I want to see Terminator versus Pennywise.
Yes. Stephen King, James Cameron, make it happen. Just saying.
2018. It 2. It, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Right. Okay, so we have these kids who are fighting the clown that eats kids specifically. Weird decision. Tell us about the kid. Tell us about the Losers Club.
Well, you got the leader. You got Bill, Stuttering Bill. You know, his little brother Georgie's the one that's, you know, follows the logic of going to the sewer because the wind blew. Makes sense.
Wait, a kid with a stutter is our leader.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
God.
That's true.
Okay, who's next?
Then you have Beverly, who's the only girl, you know, that would be friends with these guys.
Yeah, you gotta have that token female character. I mean, it was, you know, the original was the 90s, and I mean... move on to the next character, this is getting awkward.
You got Stanley. You got, you know, he's, you know, a little Jewish boy.
Okay.
You
move forward, please. I'm not making jokes.
You got, Richard Tozier. He's like a little comedian kid, and in this release, he swears a lot.
Yeah, like, again, Chris Evans, Steve Rogers. Avoid this movie if you hate language. Like, he's awful.
Skip scenes, fast forward.
Although I enjoyed him, but I'm also...
Some of them fell out of place. The gray water thing, and there were certain things that just, to me, fell out of place. I'm like, would a kid say that? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I'm just a bit immature, so, like, I enjoyed some of the stuff, but definitely. There were moments, like you said, that were just... This kid's, you know, they're all, like, 12, 13-ish, roughly.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And, like, you know, talk about different things, and... Not gonna explain gray water to you. If you want to know that, look it up.
Or don't.
It's gross.
Yeah, just...
It's all I'm going to say. It has to do with sewers.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Now it's something to do with Bob Gray.
Right.
Check out the book.
Bob Gray?
Another name for Pennywise in the book.
That's... Bob Gray. Gray water. Link? Nah, I don't know. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Stephen King's weird. Okay, so we got Bill, Beverly, Richie, Stan. Who else we got?
You got Ben. He's, you know, the new kid in town. He doesn't have any friends. It's just him and his mom, which I don't think they really went over in the movie.
Yeah,
they didn't go over his parents.
Yeah, they just had Ben, who's the new kid on the block. Hashtag clever inside joke. If you've seen the movie.
Seen the movie.
Like, that was good, by the way. Like, I thought it was clever.
I think it was good.
But yeah, they don't do anything with Ben's parents. Basically, Ben came to town for... Do they establish why?
In the movie they really didn't. In the book it's like, you know, he's living with his cousins, and there's a whole... The book is, you know, really in depth on why they're there. It's really good. I don't want to run it, but read the book. For sure.
Yeah, but Ben's there. Basically, he's this new kid in town, and he's kind of a nerd bully magnet. Like, he spends a lot of time at the library, you know, reading up on books and stuff like that. And honestly, I have to talk about this with you. Like, he's definitely one of the biggest catalyst characters for, like, you know, the group starting their investigation. Because, like we established earlier, every 27 years, you know, strange stuff happens. But the townsfolk just seem like, whatever, like, oh, you know, there was a axe murderer who went to a bar randomly, or the silo blew up or something. It's fine. It happens.
Stuff happens. Stuff happens.
But, you know, Ben comes to town. You know, he starts looking at his stuff, and he's like, yeah, like, disappearances and stuff are kind of up for this place. Like, do you think, like, you know, 20, 30 kids disappearing a year every 27 years is strange?
I would say.
But, okay, so we got Ben also.
Mike. You know, which is... They didn't really go over enough of Mike for my liking in this movie. I want to see more Mike.
Yeah, basically, Mike is, a young... I'm trying to think of how to talk about Mike without sounding like a dick.
He's homeschooled.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, he works with his family, like, preparing lamb for the butcher shop, and they don't really give him a lot of personality, you know.
No, him and Stanley really didn't, in my opinion, they really got left behind in this one.
Yeah, and then, we have...
Eddie.
The...
Hypochondriac.
Right.
You know, the overprotective mother.
Yeah, basically, like, Eddie, you know, is constant... Eddie lives with his mother, who's always insisting, oh, he's too sickly, you know, he has asthma, like, he can't do this or that, because he's just a very frail, weak child.
Yes.
Okay, so, quick recap. We got Stuttering Kid, we got Hypochondriac, we've got Girl, we've got, Nerd Bully Magnet, we got the homeschool kid who works in the butcher shop, so that's something. He works with blood and meat and stuff. We got the young Jewish boy, and, God, because I'm not using names, I'm forgetting who I'm leaving out.
The comedian.
Right, the comedian. So we got that group going up against some evil, undying demon thing that appears every 27 years and likes to eat people or children and just cause chaos.
So you're saying it's an unbalanced thing, that it's not even a contest, they won versus the clown. Like, since the kids obviously have the clown outgunned and it's going to be a boring movie, you also have the wild card of Henry Bowers, the bully that wants to kill all the other children, just like the clown does, so maybe this clown stands a chance.
Who is Henry Bowers?
He's the big bully guy that, you know, slices Ben's stomach in half, or open with a knife, and he's a weird kid. Right.
Yeah, Henry Bowers. Local bully who's apparently a bit of a psychopath.
True.
Because literally, no joke, Patrick is not exaggerating. Guy takes a knife to Ben, and, you know, that's how Ben meets up with some of the other members of the Losers Club, you know, because it's kind of awkward explaining, you know, to the doctor or the police, yeah, you know, he just fell and he got cut up on a cliff or something. Because you tried telling, oh yeah, Henry Bowers did this, guy might cut your head off or something worse. Like, he's a very dark, demented character, and he's pretty important.
Yeah, so it unites them, you know, the evil that unites them. They worry about bullies and homework and evil clowns that want to eat you, just like every other child worried about when they were in the preteens.
Yeah, we had a weird childhood, too. Like, you know, aliens taking over people's minds, going through their ears into their brain. It was... No, wait, that was Animorphs. Never mind.
Animorphs. That was not us.
If only.
Glad it wasn't.
Yeah, that was new. Good series, though. You should read that. And K.A. Applegate, you know, I feel like sending some dollars our way for repping your series. I forget how long after the fact. Feel free. I won't complain.
And there's no clowns, so if you're afraid of clowns, there's no clowns.
That's true. That's an excellent point. Okay, so we got setting, we got characters. I think we pretty much have the story. So I guess we'll just go into like final conclusions and, you know, our own personal thoughts for, like, the next part, so... Okay, so now that we've talked about, you know, setting, story, all that stuff, I guess I'm just going to go into some quick personal conclusions that I had. You know, after watching the 2017 movie, you know, like I said, it's a remake, and it does retread some of the same territory that the 1990s miniseries did. But one thing that, like, I finally noticed and caught on to was the adults in the story. You know, Losers Club all have their parents. And while we don't see many of the kids' parents, we do see Bill's parents, and we do see Eddie's mom.
And the guy that looks out for Mike.
Right, right. I forget Mike's relative, but...
I think it's his grandparents, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I forget, but one interesting thing that I noticed was it seemed like the parents kind of had, you know, a kind of defense mechanism for, like, protecting their kids. You know, Eddie was the hypochondriac. He was a hypochondriac because his mother was always insisting, you know, oh, you're too sick, oh, you're too weak, oh, we need to take your pills at this time, and all that stuff, you know. And I felt like how the movie portrayed... The movie delved into this and, you know, established, like, you know, all these things were placebos. Or gazebos. If you're 12, apparently. That was hilarious, by the way. Like, legit. Whoever came up with that, like, just bravo. But, you know, so that made me think, like, you know, his mom is trying to make him, you know, feel sick and weak so that, you know, he stays home. Because it's a lot easier for his mom to keep an eye on him in the house, you know, rather than if he's, you know, going around Derry and potentially, you know, getting snatched up by a killer clown who eats children. With Bill's parents, it's not as strong, and, like, this is just one interpretation that I personally took. You know, after Georgie's disappearance, you know, they, like, just try and shut down Bill's work on trying to, like, research and figure things out, because, you know, Bill blames himself for Georgie's disappearance. Like, he sets up this very elaborate diorama thing of, like, okay, so all the sewers, you know, like, connect, and basically, if you run water through this thing, where is everything going to end up? In this one place. And his dad is just like, you know, take this diorama apart, don't take my maps of, you know, the whole city and the sewer system, you know, just drop this. And, you know, my interpretation for that, you know, after seeing Eddie's mom, was that maybe his parents, you know, have been in Derry their whole lives. You know, 27 years ago they saw their friends, you know, getting killed off or something, and they're just trying to, you know, block it off and repress it, because we obviously can't do anything about it. You know, we can't protect our kids from it, so... Unfortunately, it is a thing, but we're just going to do our best to ignore it. Like, it sucks that we lost Georgie, and we don't want you, you know, going down that same path, and...
I felt like they were indifferent to him.
Right.
Like, they cared more for Georgie, and now that he was gone, it's like, oh well.
Right. And I mean, like, that is definitely another legitimate interpretation of that. And honestly, that's probably, like, the stronger of the two. And this is me just grasping at, hey, Eddie's mom had a defense mechanism. Maybe the other parents did. So
it's hard to say.
So it's just my personal thoughts. And then, one of the things you may have picked up on, you know, just watching all the trailers, and this is a kind of a major spoiler. Basically, this entire movie covers, you know, the story of it with the, you know, the Losers Club as kids fighting Pennywise, the monster, whatever you want to call it. Whereas the 1990s miniseries covered, you know, their kids, you know, they fight Pennywise and then coming back as adults and finally defeating the monster.
Yeah, it's more intermingled in the miniseries, whereas this was, like, just the kids.
Yeah, because at the very end of the movie, you know, it goes, you know, end chapter 1 or something like that. Which was, you know, cool and interesting. And it works so well, because, you know, one can make the argument that the 90s miniseries, you know, with, oh, hey, we're having all these flashbacks, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's a lot all at once.
Yeah, whereas this, like, okay, we're just going to focus on the kids, and then, like, probably 2018, 2019, they're going to release its chapter 2. You know, and some people could make the argument, oh, it's kind of a cash grab trying to divide the story up into two things. I feel like it was the right thing to do. Because, the 3-hour miniseries definitely cut out a lot of stuff, but let's say you have 2 4-hour movies that, split the story between childhood and adults. You can definitely do a lot more, and you don't have to cut as much, I feel like.
Agreed.
And, with it being an actually R-rated horror movie, you can do some more scary things. Whereas the miniseries was kind of PG, even though it was about the killer clown eating kids. Yeah, that's... How the heck is that PG?
I don't know. There was no blood.
That's it.
You can eat children, but if you have a drop of blood, no way.
No, and
no, out of there.
And no F-bombs.
And no F-bombs.
Like, that's... No. 90s was weird.
Yep.
So, those were my personal conclusions. You have anything?
Yeah, I thought the movie did a great job. Like he said, like Brad said, I think the fact that you did it all in one movie as just the children makes sense to me. You're doing it 2 separate things. You're not doing the flashback. You're not overwhelming people and trying to adapt, like adults with children and try and place them and, do they sync up? Do these children look enough like the adults? Like, I think it worked very well. I thought it was a great movie. I liked Henry Bowers and the way he went. My big gripe would have to be that we never saw the other bullies. Like, we saw Patrick Hockstetter die in the sewers early in the movie, and then the other 2 we don't ever see again after a few times. It felt like they just disappeared. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see more Mike. I wanted to see Ben's home life with the cousins a little bit more and set that up. Because we got Beverly's parents, her dad.
Right, I forgot about her.
We got Bill's parents. We got Eddie's mom. And Stanley, we got his dad a little bit,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would have liked to see more of the home life and what more, But I enjoyed it. I was glad they put the house on Nebold Street. I was glad they did the leper. They did a lot of stuff from the book that I was really impressed that the miniseries didn't. So I loved it. I was really impressed. There was just certain things I would tweak, but I think this as a narrative made a lot of sense. And I think leaving it open for a second part, or if they do it in 3 parts, who knows, anymore. Everyone wants to do trilogies. I think you could do a part 2 and you could be done. But with everything being trilogies, who knows if we'll get this resolved or if they'll be 70 years old in a retirement home going back to fight this and going a completely different direction. More along the lines of Bubba Hotep than Stephen King's It.
Oh my gosh. If you have not seen Bubba Hotep, it's an excellent movie.
Go see it. JFK,
Elvis Presley,
and Elvis fight a mummy.
Yep. And they're like retirement age, so 70s. It's crazy. Also, Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, come on.
Bruce Campbell as
That's
Elvis
who we need to see fight Pennywise.
Dude.
Forget Terminator. Forget Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes.
We need to see Bruce Campbell.
Bruce, Stephen King, make it happen, just saying.
Or Bruce Campbell as Pennywise. No. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, they need way too much white.
Scratch that right out.
Yeah, they need way too much white makeup for that big chin of his. Alright, and then, I guess, really quick, just some final thoughts. One of the things, I want to talk about here is, I made some comparisons between the 90s movie and the 2017, the 90s miniseries and the 2017 movie. And like I said in the beginning, they're 2 different beasts. It's like comparing a house cat to a mountain lion. They're both cats, but, one has more claws and blood and such.
F-bombs.
Oh yeah, dude, they are terrible. Like, cats...
and F-bombs.
Yeah, dude, you guys need to, chill out, okay? Be PG. Be like house cats. But, I made some comparisons between the 2 things, and this was not about making the conclusion of, is, one movie better than the other. I honestly feel like both movies have their charm. Tim Curry did excellent as Pennywise in the 90s, and Bill Skarsgård does excellent as Pennywise in this movie. So, both films have value, and, if you see one and then you want to watch the other, it's not going to be the exact same thing. Like, you can watch both, and you can enjoy them both, and, you know, maybe you can you can make your own determination on if you like one more than the other. I just want to say they're different enough where it's too hard for me personally to compare them and say, oh, the old is better or worse than the new, because they're different. You know, theatrical release versus ABC family miniseries. Hope I'm 100% clear on that. Do you have any
final thoughts? Go see the movie for sure. I loved it. Go see the '90s one. That scared me as a kid. You know, but I saw it as a kid, so maybe that's something to do with it.
Right.
And whatever, go read the book. The book
Definitely.
is amazing, and there's certain things in there. And one thing that, you know, we didn't bring up earlier is whenever Bill's riding his bike, you can see it's named Silver. And there's so many little Easter eggs, or the Easter egg to the turtle.
Right.
Or there's so many things. So, like, do yourself a favor, go read the book, then watch the movie, and you'll appreciate it because they took the main elements of the book, they worked them into the movie. They didn't overload it. They added some subtle nods to it. I would have loved to have seen Frankenstein, or the Big Bird, or gone into the Derry Ironworks explosion, or the Black Spot. But I also see in 2.5 hours, you don't need that stuff.
Right.
You know, like, it makes you want to read the book. So, I would give the movie 9 homicidal, child-eating clowns out of 10.
Who swear and have blood.
Who swear and have blood.
You know, versus the 90s movie, which I would say, like, on the general scale, I'd say it's probably 8. Because, I mean, it's good, entertaining. It's a bit long at 3 hours, but, you know, there's... The only bad thing, I would say, about the 90s movie is the child actors I really liked. Like, you know, we have Seth Green and Jonathan Brandis, and, like, they're good. The adults aren't as interesting.
John Ritter was good.
Oh, yeah, John Ritter was good. Annette O'Toole from Smallville. I don't know many of the other actors' names, but, you know, like, they don't do a bad job, but it's not as... I prefer the child actors over the adult actors, which is kind of a weird thing to say. Because usually child actors are like, oh my god, they're eating her. Now they're going to eat me. Oh my god! That was a Troll 2 reference for anyone who didn't get that. We should talk about that eventually.
I like it.
Alright, again, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you go out and see the movie, or read the book, or watch the miniseries.
And anyone that paused the video and is back now, thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the movie. We enjoyed talking about it.
Yeah.
But rewind back to the part where we actually talked about the movie now that you're back, because this is a weird cut to spoilers.
Definitely. Also, really quick, I guess Stephen King just turned 70 today as we are recording this video, so, you know, at some random point, just, you know, drop Stephen King a line saying, Happy 70th birthday, Mr. King.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 2 years down the line, he'll appreciate it. He'll be like...
Happy belated birthday 2 years from now. He likes that stuff.
Yeah, he'll be down with like, oh, I'm actually 72, but he'll be like, you know what? If they think I'm 70,
Close
I'm
enough.
cool.
Close enough.
So, I mean, you know, ladies do that all the time. Oh, I'm really 29 when they're really 30. That was probably a bad choice. I'm going to end this video here before I make any other bad jokes.
Do you like scary movies?
Unplug the phone whenever you go to record, because it's going to ring and it's going to piss you off.
Unless it's the YouTube line, and then never unplug the thing, because anyone could be calling with random suggestions. And if you don't get that, go back to the end of the Punisher video, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
God, I hate you sometimes. Alright, everyone. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the movie. And you know what? Feel free to drop us a line, you know, with your thoughts and opinions on the movie, the miniseries, the book, Stephen King's works. Like, Patrick, you know, you're a big fan. You've read a bunch of his stories, so if you want some suggestions, you know, feel free to hit him up. You know, we've got Thinner, Under the Dome, It, Cell. I'm personally interested in checking out Christine, basically haunted car movie. but also a
Car
book. Yeah, haunted car book that turned into a haunted car movie. And I've heard that they are different enough where, like, you can read the book, and then you can watch the movie, and you get two different things, and it's cool and interesting. Just saying. Okay, I think I'm good. Finally. So, till next time, guys. Peace. Okay, so we got done talking about Stephen King and it.
It's over.
You know, good horror thing. We're going into October. You got any ideas for what we should do next? We need something scary, something like interesting and timeless.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Zombies are big.
Right, Walking Dead. No, that's still going.
That's true.
That'd be a bit hard to talk about. Who's that big zombie guy? Yeah, he made the Dawn of the Dead like 10 years ago. No, wait, was that original or was that a remake?
That was a remake.
Who did the original one?
George Romero.
Yeah! Oh crap, yeah, he died a few months ago. We gotta talk about him.
I agree.
You down for that?
I'm down.
Cool. Alright, guys. Coming up next time, the end of the road for George Romero, the king of the father of the zombie horror genre. Unfortunately, he did pass away a few months ago, so, this is kind of a final tribute, especially with October being the month of spooky, scary stuff. It feels very fitting. So, if you're not too scared, check back with us October 15th for the end of the road, George Romero.